What's up, everybody? Welcome once again to the Imbalance Podcast. I, of course, am Imbalance, aka Davey Scorsese, aka David Porter, my real name. Oh, dropping truth bombs today. Speaking of truth bombs, I'm going to go ahead and be upfront with everybody. This will be my last podcast of the year. The year 2020, I feel, doesn't deserve any more podcasts than what I've given already. Actually, it's just next week is Christmas, and the week after that is New Year's. So I'm gonna give myself a couple weeks break from recording this to kind of celebrate the holidays, spend time with my loved ones, and just enjoy myself. So I want to end this year with kind of a positive note. The last episode, as you know, was about hate. So I thought I would counter that and talk about love this week. And not like some, let me get all close to the microphone. Talk real smooth. Let's talk about love, baby. No, it's not anything like that. I'm talking about just the love in general, not romantic love or anything like that. Just something that, as Burt Bacharach once sang, what the world needs now is love. Sweet love. I know David Lee Roth was disappointed because I'm talking about love, but I was always more of a Hagar guy anyway. So, fuck him. But let's not start off saying fuck anyone on a podcast about love, shall we? Love to me, is a very complicated thing because love has driven me to the point of insanity. But love is also something that's kept me going, like something to keep me holding on to this life. So it's a beautiful, mysterious, just all around wonderful thing, love. Something that made me think about it recently was I had a little mini Christmas get together over the weekend with my family, and my niece, my oldest niece, she's 6 years old. She demanded that I be the first to open my present that she got for me. She said she got it with her own money, which I don't know what she's doing at 6 years old to be making money, but she's doing better in life than I did. And she just said she knew that I would love what she got me. And what it is, she calls it a Darth Vader nightlight, but it's really an infinity mirror with Darth Vader's face printed on it, and it's awesome. Like, she was absolutely right; she nailed it. I love the thing. I've got it in my room right now, and eventually I'm gonna have a camera set up so you can kind of see me as I'm talking, but I don't have everything, all the equipment for that yet. But the point is, it made me think about, like, who has a better kind of love towards someone than a child? And I'm not trying to get all Michael Jackson weirdo or anything like that. Just, I've noticed, like, not only my nieces, my nephew, but also I live with one of my best friends, his soon-to-be wife, and they have a 5-year-old daughter. And it's the same thing with her as it is with my nieces. Like, it doesn't matter if they just saw you 10 minutes ago. Every time they see you, they're just excited and happy to see you. They're jumping up and down, just thrilled. And like that's just a love that's just always there, Like, they're not afraid to show it. They don't try to play it cool. They don't let the stress of anything, like get them down or make them moody towards you. I mean, some toddlers, yeah, they throw fits and get angry, but they're always, they're always there to show you how much they love you. It's the same with even my nephew. He's not even a year old, and every time he sees anyone, he just grins, like he just smiles and laughs, like it's amazing. And just imagine if we as humans never lost that love, and we just always like had that excitement for each other when we saw each other. Just we're always just like giddy almost, just cross paths with each other. Like, now it just seems like we're all just, and I know life like really kicks your ass and stresses people out and, just gets you down after a while. Like, I've spent a good portion of my life down and depressed and just let life, kick my ass. But just imagine, like, I know society, like in society, we can't like jump up and down and go yay every time we see someone that we love. But just imagine like a world where we could get away with that just all the time. Like it would just be great. And another kind of love I've been thinking of. This one's a little weird. This is diving kind of into my the way my mind works. So this is like going to be some deep psychological stuff here. But today I was driving around, for work. I'm a dasher. I deliver food that people order on DoorDash. It's a living. But it was snowing, and it really got me into the Christmas spirit. Um, I've only really felt it once, and that was, as I mentioned before, that Christmas like little mini gathering I had with my family over the weekend. But just watching the snowfall today just really got me in that holly jolly mood, I guess. And I was playing Christmas tunes and just driving around singing along, with like Bing Crosby, Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Paul McCartney, just a bunch of my personal favorite Christmas songs. And all of a sudden, I started to envision my own little world in my head, where everything was just perfect. Like no one ever dies. People get to celebrate the holidays with their loved ones forever, because no one goes away. And just imagine a world like that as well. Imagine a world like that. That's a shout out to Ariana right there. But I'm just all over the place today because I really don't like. Again, I didn't have anything prepared for this podcast. I was just talking about something that popped in my mind today. So it's going to be really random. But yeah, imagine a world where no one ever dies, no one ever abandons their families, and everything's just perfect. And holidays don't have to be so depressing to people. There's a very high suicide rate during the holidays, and it's just very sad to me that it has to be that way because like it's supposed to be the happiest time of the year, but for a lot of people, it's the complete opposite. And I just don't really think that's right. So I don't know, that's just a love I have for everyone in general, that I wish nobody had to lose their loved ones and people could stay around forever. But let's talk about um hmm let's actually let's go back to what I was talking about earlier when it comes to the love that children show. I just when my niece got me that present, like that was just so thoughtful. Like she's such a sweet girl, like my biggest dread is knowing that this world is going to change her one day. Like I know she'll be a good person. I know she'll grow up to be like a wonderful, wonderful human being. It's just like I've never really thought of it because I've never had kids of my own and probably never will. But now that I watch my niece growing up, like I get like these parents who kind of break down and cry thinking about watching the innocence of their children go away. Like it's a part of life and it happens, but you don't want to watch it. You don't want to see it happen. But I think she's gonna grow up to do great things. She's just a wonderful, wonderful person, and she inspires me. So that's pretty cool. Um, as for the concept of love in a romantic way, I try to avoid that subject because I have had not a whole lot of luck in that aspect. But I do want to kind of share my thoughts on like what I think love is in that aspect. It's definitely evolved a lot over the years. I used to be a very codependent person, thinking that, I was incomplete without someone to love me and be there for me. But I'm quickly learned that loving myself is way more rewarding, way more just satisfying than any love I've found from another person. And maybe the next step is to, put myself out there again, but I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. But when I am ready, I know love is that kind of love, that romantic love. First of all, I think anyone can love anyone. It doesn't matter your race, your gender, your preferred gender, if you're cis, trans, gay, straight, lesbian, any of that. If you can find someone to love, go for it. Like, don't let anybody in this world shame you or keep you from the love that you deserve, no matter who it's from. Unless it's like a kid or a pedophile or an animal. I'm not really big on bestiality. I mean, there is a love that pets show as well. Most dogs are thrilled as hell to see you every time you walk in the door. But that goes along with like that childish sign of love that I was talking about earlier. Not a sexual or romantic love, just love in general, like for life and everyone around you. But romantic love, yeah, like anybody can love anybody. It took me 30 years to figure that out. So if you're listening and you feel like there's no one out there for you, and you kind of have those tendencies or feelings or thoughts towards whoever, just follow that and see where it takes you. Like, trust me, in the end you'll be so much happier that you did. Even me, like I have had, like I said, not a lot of luck in that aspect, but I've kind of cracked the code on who I am. Found some more pieces to the puzzle of my identity in the last 4 or so years. That's really given me a peace of mind and opened the door for me to love myself as well. So don't ever give up, especially on yourself. It took me a long time to learn how to start loving myself. So if you're listening and you think there's no hope, I'm going to be one of the 100 other voices that finally tell you that there's always hope. You just got to hang in there and just keep working at it. And believe me, great things will happen. But when it comes to finding the one or whatever, I really don't know a whole lot about that. But I know when I find my person, the way I'm going to show my love to them, first of all, communication. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm gonna be my truest, most authentic self at all times, and tell them how I feel at all times. Well, maybe not at all times, but when it's important, like when you have to have those discussions. Most guys think showing any sign of emotion or talking about their feelings is weak or whatever. But I think if more guys were more willing to be open about what's going on in their brain, it would make things a lot easier for those kind of relationships. Then again, what do I know? But compromise is something I've learned. It's probably essential for that kind of thing. I used to be very unwilling to compromise in my relationships. You know, if there's something I wanted to do, I wasn't gonna let no bitch tell me what to do. And that's probably what's gotten me where I am now, to be completely honest with you. You gotta know your partner and know what makes them happy the same way they need to know you and what makes you happy. You can't just have it your way all the time. I'm still kind of, reluctant to get back into that because focusing on myself these last however many years has been great. I can do what I want when I want, and it's led me down a path of really getting to know myself and love myself. So it's hard to want to go back into you know having to share your energy that you've reserved for yourself with another person. But when that right person comes along, I'm sure it won't be hard. It'll be something that you're more than willing to do, and something that I'll be more than willing to do. So that'll be wonderful, I think. Um, what else do I think is key to a good relationship? Which, by the way, take any of my advice with a grain of salt. If you've been listening to my podcast, you know I'm twice divorced. Just had a complete train wreck of a history when it comes to, romantic relationships. So I really don't know shit about shit when it comes to this. This is just, stuff I've thought of over the years. Um, and going back to when I said anyone can love anyone, I'm not going to set an unrealistic expectation. There does have to be some form of attraction initially. Like, yes, I am a very body positive person. I don't, fat shame or anything like that. But everybody has their own, things that turn them on more than other things do. So everyone kind of has a type, and like I've been told before, like kind of, go outside of what your type is and expand your horizons. But that's very hard to do when you have certain attractions to certain things. You know what I mean? So it's even rough for me to figure out still because with my attractions, I'm very much attracted to women and a feminine aesthetic. But I have a preference for male genitalia. So as you can imagine, it's very rough for me to kind of find that balance in a person because it's just not something that's very common where I live, at least. So, and then you have a whole nother just struggle with being judged even within members of this community that I'm in, the LGBT community. I get called a chaser a lot and things like that. But it's not even like viewing, it's not like I'm like, yeah, man, I want a chick with the dick, man. No, like I want a partner. I want someone, to a companion in my life to share experiences with and just live life with. I just happen to have a preference, for a certain kind of genitalia. So it's confusing for me sometimes too. So if you're listening to this and, I just kind of dropped that bomb out of nowhere, so some people are probably like, what the fuck? But, like I said, I'm unapologetically me, and that's what I'm going to be on this podcast. So if you're family and you're listening and you didn't know that, sorry to kind of drop that bomb on you like this, but, it is what it is. Like I've accepted that. And, just kind of have to go from there. I really, plus if your family listening to this, it doesn't really affect you because I won't be trying to date any of you. No offense, but I ain't no inbred. Um, but yeah, like the perfect form of love, if you ask me, is someone who's a companion, who you can share experiences with, live life with, even like share like similar interests. Like, I'm very much a nerdy, geeky person. I'm a dork pretty much. I love Star Wars. Like that's like the highlight of my life. Is watching, The Mandalorian every week and looking forward to the new Star Wars projects coming out that were just announced and just discussing the damn saga and just the whole mythology behind it with other nerds, so to speak. So it would be nice to find a partner, who shares those similar kind of passions. Um, because I can get along with people who, don't necessarily have the same passions as I do. And, I don't hold it against people. Like, we're all individuals, we all have our own things. But it would be nice, like, to just share that passion with someone that you love and you share a life with. So that would be good as well. Um, but other than that, love. Like, I'm just gonna wrap this up about love right now because I have another thing I want to get to. But love is just essential in this world. Like, it seems like we're living in dark times, filled with hatred and division and paranoia and fear mongering. But as the Beatles once said, all you need is love. Love is all you need. I mean, it's as simple as that. People, make fun of others for saying stuff like that, like call them hippies or whatever. But really, if to quote one of the great philosophers of our time, Tommy Wiseau, if a lot of people loved each other, the world would be a better place. And if you know what that's from, you get a lot of points in my book. If you don't know, that's from a terrible, terrible movie called The Room, which I highly recommend seeing because it's very entertaining despite being awful. But that's going to wrap up my thoughts on love. Um, like I said, this is my last podcast of the year. And the reason for that, like I said, is the next 2 weeks are Christmas and the New Year's, and I'm just gonna focus, on enjoying those holidays with my loved ones. But I'm also gonna try to work on something a little special. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to jinx myself, but you'll be hearing my voice again before the year's over if everything goes right. Let's just say that. Um, Other than that, I do appreciate everyone listening. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Kelly's Vinyl Record Store in Ashland, Ohio. A shout out to Leah. She's been a very supportive listener, and I appreciate her feedback and her input. And go check her store out. Even if if you're not into vinyl, like just find a cheap record player and just grab a few $2 records from her store and just see how you like it. Because, I mean, I've told her this. I think small, independently owned record stores, like the one she runs, is what's keeping good music alive. Otherwise, you're letting, the music industry decide what music stays and what music goes. And we all know that the industry is punks, as Tech Nine once said. Um, Also want to give a shout out to Buckeye Bakery in Mansfield, Ohio. Um, a great friend of mine, Chelsea, runs Buckeye Bakery as well, and they have some of the best baked goods you can imagine. Like, if I could, I would boil those down into a needle and just inject their donuts and cookies and pies and all that good shit right into my veins. Just like levitate in the air like Jesse Pinkman on that episode where Jessica Jones gets them all high on Breaking Bad. So shout out to Buckeye Bakery as well. You are the pride and joy of fat men like me everywhere. So thank you for your service, Chelsea. Other than that, I hope everyone listening to this has a very Merry Christmas. If it's a lonely Christmas, a hard Christmas for you, I'll be thinking of you as well. I hope that you, find something to get you through these tough times of the year. And for God's sake, let's just take a second to appreciate that this god awful year 2020 is almost over. In 2 weeks, it's a new year. So thank God for that, and let's hope 2021 gives us some good, just epically awesome shit. Because we deserve a win after this shit show of a year, don't we? Yeah, I think so. So happy holidays to everybody who's listening. Appreciate your support, your feedback. I love you all. I'll see you next year with a whole lot more content, and hopefully more than just the podcast coming. Hint, hint. Other than that, be good to yourselves and each other, and just remember that love wins. Love conquers all. Love is here to stay, and it ain't going away. No matter if you're straight or you're gay. So, don't play. Alright, enough of that foolishness. Hey, everybody. See you next time. See you next year. Bye.